welcome to our second episode inside the Rocket Golf Hackathon of Rocket Labs. And today we have a special guest speaker here. And besides being a community manager, he is also a bot, I'd say fanatic maybe, or very enthusiastic bot developer, user, builder. And in this case, it is on the Bot.Press platform, who is one of the easiest ones to get started with. And it's very versatile. So you can build very interactive, smart, dynamic bots with it. And personally, I'm not sure, but if that's a big issue. But the main issue with Bot.Press is if you need to scale it, then you need to have a better infrastructure and micro architecture bots, and then it becomes complex and harder to get by. But for the prototyping and building inside the hackathon, it is one of the first choices that you would go if you are building a logic bot. So a logic bot has a structure and a way of answering, replying, and interacting upon the users, and that's due to a specific path. If you have the other solution where you have a training model and AI experience, there's one project that we just saw in the checkpoint that has that. Then the preferred starter point is to work with Rasa, which is also a beautiful open source bot platform that is specialized in this field of engineering. So let's give it a go and see what is all possible with this great bot platform, Bot.Press. Yeah.
Hello everybody. We're going to be delivering here a bot. We have already a Git repository. I'm going to show you everything. Don't worry about that. I just want to talk about a little bit my experience, my first experience with a bot. It was a very decising moment when the pandemic hit. And started, and I was working on a health and insurance group, a health company that had laboratories, that had all of that stuff. And we had almost like 8 people having a huge incoming requests in order to schedule the COVID exams, right? And they had to do all that questions by hand. So if you imagine someone arriving and say, hey, I want to do the COVID exam. And then the next question is going to be, okay, how many days you have the symptoms? And then the person, and this was manually, right? We had Rocket.Chat running, but we didn't had a lot of we did had a lot of incoming, but not that much as the pandemic. So the agent had to do that all manually. At the end of the process, you had the day of the symptoms, and if the symptoms were less than 3 days, the agent would say, okay, please wait a little bit in order to do the exam, so we can arrange the exam. And after like 1 week of heavy hard work, I was able to deploy this bot. Back then I was using Rasa, and it was day and night. It was very good because the agent was getting to the on the customer care, getting to the chat with all the information already there. So if the customer was requesting the COVID exam and it was not that exactly time, the bot was already saying that. So we are saving time here. We are doing work more efficiently. So that's the thing that I like about bot, is that you can make everything more efficient, right? You can have automate a lot of the customer care. You can, and ultimately you can connect that with a human. So you have the best of the both worlds. And sometimes, depending on the people that you're caring for, you need to adapt the bot. So you can't say that there's a recipe for bots, right? Because each of the cities, each of the people, each of the culture is going to interact differently, right? So you can never expect that you ask a question and they will exactly answer for yes or no. Maybe they go for yup, they go for nope, and then the bot needs to be able, you need to be the bot curator and to take care about that. Okay, so let's get into action here. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see. Okay, you probably are watching that right now. So first of all, Oh, sorry, I closed it.
No
Uh,
problem. And then this will also be part of the judging criteria. So when you're building a bot, we all know which bots are there for open source to tick, and how you add your layer of specific, concise value to that and make your bot unique. That will be part of the judging criteria for all the bot projects. So take this into mind when you're building and listening and developing your bot.
Okay, so a bot here in Rocket Chat context, we are going to only see here at least the omni channel, but the bot in Rocket Chat context, it can act on three different areas or three different kind of communications inside Rocket Chat, right? So in Rocket Chat, you have the omni channel, which is that part that you're going to have customer care. You're going to have different people outside of your organization talking with you, and at omnichannel, you have departments, you have agents, you can forward a chat to another department, you can forward a chat to another agent. Okay, this is omnichannel. If you go to team collaboration, you have two different kinds of chats that you can act there. You can have a direct message, or you can have a bot acting into a channel together with a lot of people. Okay, here we are going to show you the solution for omnichannel. Still have some rough ads. We just had the Google Summer of Code. We were discussing a lot about the bot integration at all in Rocket Chat. So there's a lot. It's working. There's already a lot of bots in production, but there's a lot of room for improvement at the bot connect integration itself. Okay, so first thing that you want to do if you want to follow, you go to Rocket Chat organization in GitHub. As you saw on our last Rocket Lab, there's a lot of repositories there. Okay, you're going to search here for BotPress, and it's going to have two or more projects here. Okay, the one that we want is this one, Rocket Chat BotPress Lab Bot. Okay, so you click there. Here we have some installation instructions if you want to follow that line by line. That's basically what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to follow it. I'm going to do that more ad hoc. So what you have here in this repository, yeah, I have created here a Docker Compose already with everything you need. Okay, so here you're going to have the services. You're going to have Rocket Chat with the latest version. You're going to have also the MongoDB and also BotPress. Okay. Uh, Yeah. Okay. One thing to notice. So you have bot press there, everything that you need in order to make the bot working together with Rocket Chat. And if you're going to try to deploy that in your own Rocket Chat that you already have, bear in mind that as we saw yesterday, you can change in the Rocket Chat the environment for Docker in this case. You can set some settings by default into Rocket Chat. So bear in mind that some of those options here are very important in order to make sure it works. So for example, you can accept chats with no agents, or you can assign new conversation to bot. These ones being the most important, because whenever we want that all the new incoming chats are going to the bot if there is a bot on that department. Okay, so once you have that, you have this in mind. What we're going to do now, we're going to clone this repository. Okay, you can just clone here, copy the repository. Uh, I'm going to here to a temporary folder. So you just hit git clone and that repository. I'm going to take a different name here, Tururu, which is a crazy name that I do for whenever I want to create some stuff. So you can put that your company, your city, or whatever. So I'm going to cd into that directory. And what we want to do now, we're going to do Docker Compose up. Okay. And while this is going up, what's happening here, a lot of stuff is going to happen. You're going to see, let me see if I'm going to have creating bot press tables and whatnot, and a lot's going to happen. Okay, so while that happens, I'm going to show you what we have on this repository. Why this repository is so special? Because here already I already developed a very cool bot flow. Okay, that's going to show you all the kind of stuff that you can achieve from within a bot. Okay, that's just for demonstration purposes. So this is not a bot itself. It doesn't have a domain like some kind of knowledge, uh, but that's something that you could do. Okay, so now here you have a live chat widget also, and this is what we are talking about. Okay, so we have the bot there. This is the final result that you're going to have, and also some cool techniques and so some cool stuff to do. Okay, if you take a close look here, we already have the bot exported, and I'm going to show you how you can do that in BotPress. You can import and export bots, and here a very important folder is the actions. Okay, so we already have I have written a lot of actions. So for example, if you want to gather information from that room, or if you want to close that room, or if you want to transfer that room, you have a lot of actions that do that for you already. uh, so okay, uh, let me just close it here. I have a lot of uh, windows open, and okay, I was just using that, and okay. So now we have everything set. If you come here, probably we have already Rocket.Chat running here. So if we take a close look here in our Docker Compose, what we just spin it up was Rocket.Chat, and it's tied to the port. Uh, okay, tied to the port 3000. And I have changed because BotPress by default, the Docker Composer also will bind to the port 3000. So I added 3001. Okay. So if I come here to Rocket.Chat or to localhost, I'm going to have Rocket.Chat running. Okay, so as you've seen on our last episode, Dabdo did some nice stuff here to bypass this stage, and we are not going to do that now. So that's a nice opportunity for you to see what's going to happen. So basically, now we are registering the Rocket.Chat workspace here. I'm going to set my username here, my email, Rocket.Chat, and a password, Duda123. Very easy password. Don't do that. So this here is like I'm going to put my city here, city of Cho Cho. It's a nickname for my city. This is a government educational. I can. We are in Brazil. So basically, this is basically a registration for your workspace. I'm going to register right now my workspace together with Rocket.Chat Cloud. Okay. So let's do this. The idea for doing that is that I need Rocket.Chat registered in order to install marketplace applications. So what happened here is that they're going to send me an email in order to verify my account. Okay, so I have just received this email here on my mobile, and I'm going to click verify registration, and that's going to activate here my workspace. Okay, so my workspace is done. As an additional step, I need to log into Rocket.Chat account. Cloud. Okay, so I'm going to workspace here, and I need to go. I could try to go directly to apps and try to install the apps, but it's going to say, hey, you need to log into the cloud. So I can come here to connectivity services, and I can just log into the chat cloud. Okay, it's going to do some authorization here, uh, some OAuth token changing, and now everything should be fine. If I click sync here, I think I need to refresh this page. And we should see, okay, everything is good now. I'm logged into the cloud. Now I can not only receive the push notifications, that are the benefits of having your cloud registered. I can receive push notifications on mobile, and I can install apps. Okay, so before installing the app, we are going to create a new user that's going to be our bot user, right? So in Rocket.Chat, the bot is really a user. Okay, and we're going to create this user now. I'm going to put the name here. Let's see, Ratatouille. Okay, our bot is named Ratatouille. The username is going to be bot. The email bot@bot.com. It's a verified email already. The nickname bot, the password bot, and for the roles, I'm going to select this bot's going to be a user because it's has all the necessity to have the users, and also it's a live chat agent and a live chat manager, and also is a bot. Okay, this is very important because all those are built-in roles, and there's whenever I add that kind of a role, I'm going to have some specific permissions. Okay, so now I have the user prepared. I'm just going to okay, so I have the user, and one thing that we need to do now is to make sure that the bot can communicate with Rocket.Chat. Okay, as I showed you, we have the bot press running here at the port 3000. Okay, so if I access here my local host, and now at the port 3001, I'm going to be that's the first setting for bot press. So I'm going to have here my email. Oops, dot Nogueira at Rocket.Chat. Again, my password Duda123, Duda123. And okay, now I have here bot press is working, but there's no bot here. Okay, what you can do, as I told you, we have the bot already exported here, and we just cloned that, right? So what you're going to do, we're going to import this new existing bot. Let's call it bot1, and now we're going to add these two. I cloned here on our temporary and Tururu. Yeah. Okay, so botlab is here. I'm going to import that, and I'm going to call the bot ID bot1. Okay, I can have multiple bots here. That's very interesting of BotPress. So I just imported the bot, and it's telling me here that the bot needs training. Okay, so I have the bot. The bot has some natural language understanding, so some other bot stuff. So whenever I click here, we are going to see the bot flow, okay, as we just saw on the repository. So what I need to do now, I need to train the bot. This is a very quick step. So whenever you change something about natural language understanding or natural language processing, you need to retrain the bot. If you change the flow, that's not necessary, okay? I'm going to show you all that in working. So now we have the bot here, and now we need to make sure that this bot is able to communicate with Rocket.Chat. I'm going to show all the actions that uses the credential that we are about to change. Okay, for changing the credentials, this bot already has some configurations built in. So you can come here to the code editor, and you have two different kinds of configurations in BotPress. You have a configuration specifically for that bot that goes at the export with that bot, and you have the global configuration. Okay, so we are going to come here to the current bot configuration, and you can see here the Rocket.Chat user ID, authentication token, and the URL. Okay, if you're not familiar with Docker, whenever you have Docker services inside the same container, those services can communicate between each other using the name of the service as a host name. Okay, and also the full original exposed port. So here, for example, from BotPress, I can connect with Rocket.Chat using only Rocket.Chat as the host name, and the other way around works that as well. So from Rocket.Chat, I can communicate with BotPress uh, uh, directly inside the Docker network. This you can also host this on different servers, and they can communicate over the internet, right? So only make sure that you're using SSL, so you can have encrypted connection. Okay. So what we need to do now, we need to generate a personal access token. Okay. This is the credentials of the bot, and instead of using bot the username and the bot password as we set up, this is not optimal, because if you do that, every time that you want to access, you're going to use the same user and password, and then you're going to have one more hit to the backend. Okay, to generate that, we are going to log out from the bot. You can generate that from API, but only to show you an easier way. I will log in now, bot and bot. Okay, user. You can come here on your avatar here and my account and personal access token. Okay, you want to ignore the two authentication factor, and let's just give a name here for reference. And okay, now I have the personal access token. So again, this is the credentials that's going to allow BotPress to communicate with Rocket.Chat. Only the permissions you can only do in using Rocket.Chat APIs whatever the bot user has permissions. Okay, so if you want to delete the user, you cannot. unless you add the remove permissions or whatever you want to do with your bot. Okay, so I'm copying here the user ID. I'm changing here that user ID. I'm also adding here the token. And okay, so now I will save it. And that's it, what I need to do in order to the bot to be able to communicate and consume and do stuff around in Rocket.Chat. What we need to do now, let me remember. Okay, so we have the bot here. Everything is good on the bot side. Now, what we need to do, we need to just log out here again. I will log in with my manager account to the 123. Okay, so now we need to install the BotPress connector. Okay, as you saw on our last session, we were all about creating apps, right? So guess what? In order to connect with BotPress, we are going to use a Rocket.Chat app that was developed for extending this feature. Okay, and for that we are going to come here to Marketplace, and we're going to search for the BotPress. And then now a little bit of explanation. As I was telling you, we still have some rough ads. And one app that I would love to see is a BotPress connector, specific for BotPress, that could be used for all the, not only the omni channel, but also the channels and also the direct message. Okay, we are going to use BotPress here, this BotPress connector, and this is specifically for omni channel, right? So for example, this is going to customer support and everything. One usage for the direct, for example, is that suppose you have a company and you want all the employees to be able to connect with a bot and do some internal stuff or opening a ticket. Okay, but here is only for the omni channel. If you want okay, let's install it. If you want the direct message, the other bot from Frank Days is the one to go. Uh, Let me search here and show you a little bit very quickly. Okay, so this is the bot from Frank Days, our great friend Frank Days. This will only go for direct message, and as far as I can tell, it's ephemeral message. Okay, so you will interact with the bot, and as soon as you restart the reload the Rocket.Chat, the messages are gone. This is by default. This is by design. Okay, so now we have uh, uh, on installed here. We have the bunch. Let me see. Here we have the BotPress connector here. Okay. Um, it's not. Oh, it's just loaded. So you have here the marketplace and you have the installed one. Okay. So this is the bot that's installed, and now we need to configure the bot, right? As I was telling you, you can connect directly with Rocket.Chat from to BotPress and vice versa. So for doing that, if for some reason you have Rocket.Chat on a Docker container, on a Docker Compose, sorry, and you have BotPress on a separate Docker Compose, you can create a common network, or you can add that container to one of those networks in order to allow them to communicate. Okay, so now we are going to configure the connector for the BotPress, and is asking me here for the name of the bot, right? This is the username of the bot that we created. This here is the BotPress ID. So usually stays here whenever you are importing the bot, you can decide that. So this is the bot one. And again, you can have multiple bots here. And this is the bot one. So that's the one that you're going to go. Okay. Again, so this is the internal connection. If you're hosting BotPress outside of your infrastructure or in a public place, you can just add here. Hopefully, you have HTTPS. This I does not need because all the communications are inside the Docker. Okay. Here's some unavailable message. I'm going just to click. This I does not use, and I'm going to show you why. And this is the department, the full handover department. Okay, as it's a required field, I just put something here. So the idea, let me save here. So this BotPress connector already provides you with incoming webhook that you could forward the message or close the message. This is interesting if you do not want to allow the user to have manager rights. Okay, as we did had manager rights for the bot can already forward, can already do all that kind of stuff. Um, okay, so now I will just do something here. I'm going to prepare everything from the in the Rocket Chat in order to receive that message and relay that message to the bot. Okay, and for that I'm going to in fact configure my omni channel. Okay, so now my user is not a manager. I'm going to add that. So as we set the bot as a live chat manager, it's already appearing here, and as well as an agent. Okay. Now we're going to create a department, and we're going to enable it, and let's call it entry. Some description, you can add that. We can allow it to show in the registration page. So entry, that's department.com. And now here's the important part. We're going to add bot as the agent for this department. Okay. So if you remember, we added here this option that I can show you where it lives. But basically, uh, okay, so this one, assign new conversations to bot. So even if there is like three persons, three agents there, only the bot's going to get that message. Okay. So now we have entry here. Let me see. So everything should be fine now in order to test. Okay. So whenever a new chat comes, and whenever it's going to this department, to the entry department, that's going to have the bot user there awaiting for that chat, and then Rocket Chat's going to automatically assign that chat to that specific bot. Okay. A lot of people does not know about that, but if you want to test live chat, you can just take your Rocket Chat installation and you can go to this URL, and you're going to have the live chat already installed there. Okay, so you need to understand that for that the bot does not know if the user is coming from live chat or from WhatsApp or from Facebook. You know, the bot will just answer for that. So sometimes, depending on the channel that you're going to use, sometimes you need to adapt the message a little bit, and then you can from the bot discover how to do that if the user is on the Facebook or whatever channel they are using. Okay, so now as we are seeing here, I can open up the live chat widget here. So we can imagine that this here is your website, and you have the little bubble there that can get you directly with the bot, and later maybe with an agent. Okay, so now I get just here as a visitor one, and we add some email here, and then I will get them into the entry. Okay, if you want to change this widget, there's an API for that you can already set the name, or you can set the token. So for example, if you have an environment that user is already logged in, you can create a token that every time that the user initiates a chat, you can make sure that that's the same user, right? That's interesting if you know already, if you have authentication about the user. Okay, so now when we start the chat, I can just give a hi, and hopefully, I think I forgot one thing. uh, I need to, because the bot is not available, so I need to set the bot as available. Let me see if that's it. Oh, that's not it. Let me try another stuff. uh, Let me see where the okay, it's been to the entry, and I don't think that the bot was.
Is it assigned to the department already?
Yeah, it's in the department but didn't come to the bot. I think there's at least one thing that you need to do here. Oops, just close it here. I'll log in with the bot to make sure that it at least set the status at the first time. Okay, so bot and bot. Right. I'll just close here and let's start it again. Okay, so visitor two, email visitor two, and entry. Okay, okay, now the bot is here. Oh, okay. Now the bot already took action here, right? And that's the cool part. We got the visitor name, we got the bot name that we defined there, and then how can we help you today? And then you have a set of options that you can do. Okay, I'm going to show you that in detail about the bot in the admin of the bot. Uh, but basically, what's happening here is that we have a set of tools here, a set of actions that took place before even that first message was delivered. Okay, so here is where all starts. I'm not showing all this. Oh, okay, let me close here. Um, so everything starts whenever the bot receives a message. Okay, it's going to create a session. On this specific case here, the session is the let me open here. Okay, this is the session on the BotPress case. This is the session ID. So the same session ID is going to be the session, the ID of the room. Okay, these are the one that will consider a session in BotPress. Okay, so whenever a session starts, it's going to start here. So here we have a config test. I'm going to show you a little bit of the code on how everything went. This is another action that's called me info. So the idea of the me info is to get the information of the running user. So if you remember, we configured the personal access token. That's for the bot user, right? So whenever you do the me info, you get information about the bot itself. You have another action, it's called get room info, that's going to get all the information from the bot. So consider, for example, that same use case that you have a website, your user is already logged in, right? And in Rocket.Chat, you can have custom fields, right? And the advantage of that is that you can pass some custom fields. Okay, so this is a doctor, this is a nurse, this is a patient. So you can you know where when you know where this user is coming from, you can send those informations on the initial of the chat, and then you can grab those informations from the get room. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit of the code, and then you can see that that's happening. Okay, so here, for example, that's the first message that you saw here, right? Hello, visitor two, my name is something. How can I help you today? So this message here, let me add it here for you. Uh, so this message is already using some variables, right? The idea here is that this message is using variables that was gathered on those actions. And I'm going to show you how you can store some data into BotPress sessions. Okay, so basically now it's all the information that you can do, all the things that you can do with BotPress, right? What we have here is that we are passing by some buttons. Okay, so on this situation here, we have plenty of buttons. And as I told you, we have some rough ads. And right now, the content type demo it's only going to deliver the message, the text message. We already have some PR to fix the image. This is supposed to be the expected results. So this here in BotPress, I have emulator. So whenever I play here, I have the emulation. So here, for example, you can see the visitor because it's the full name that we get room info. You have visitor. That's the full name of the visitor. Here it's not tied to Rocket.Chat. So whenever it's trying to get me info, get room info, it's going to fail because this is only for an emulation, right? So if I come here, for example, for content type demo, this is the content type that all the content types that BotPress provides. Okay. Right now we only support the text content demo, and we are working to support more informations like images or different cards or different stuff. Okay. So for example, PDFs and videos and all that. Okay, so this is more richer content that you can deliver. Right now you can still upload files, upload images, but the idea here is that you have one image from the bot, and this same image is going to be sent differently for different uh, different users. Okay, so this is the first option here that we just clicked here. We can use, for example, I'm going to use this one later. You can also connect this with another action that is post text message to a channel. So whenever I click here, the message is going to be created and sent to the, I think, general. Let me check it here. Yeah, to the general. So here you have the message, and if I inspect here, the ID of the message was returned here, right? So that's, it was a success, the message sent. And also you have a more extended message to a channel. uh, let's see. Okay, so the extended message. So I always say that one can say that okay, a chat system is something very very simple, right? It's message here, text message to here to there, but it's not that simple. It can easily be get more complex when you add like audio, when you add different kind of integrations and different methods. So here is an extended, this option here for an extended message to a channel. This is a message that with all the possibilities that the message can provide you natively, right? And even if you want to create, for example, an app that can do this, that kind of rich content, you can probably achieve that with a very, very specially crafted bot press connector. So whenever we receive this here, this kind of different kind of content, right? With a lot of images, with action buttons. You can probably translate that from the bot. Okay, so the bot's going to say, "Hey, I have a different, a rich content here," and it's usually a specification, a JSON specification. So your app can receive that information, translate that in a way that Rocket.Chat will understand. So in Rocket.Chat, as we saw yesterday, you have a lot of blocks that you can create different kinds of interfaces. So this is the rough edge that we have, that we are still working on that. Okay, so that's a more advanced kind of bot connectors that we are researching. Okay, so for example, if you want to see more about the, this is a message with attachments, right? And all that is documented in our APIs. Okay, this is basically done using APIs, Rocket.Chat APIs. So you can even do that without the bot. So let's say if you have a system that you want to read some informations and then spit that information out, you can do the same here without using the bot. Basically, the bot is consuming some Rocket.Chat APIs. Okay, so this is just a simple message, and this is a message with 3 attachment at least. Okay, so you can add little icons, you can add message with links, and you can have the attachment can be collapsed. So this one is collapsed. I can collapse that. You can have different fields. You can have images. Here, for example, is a long kind of field. These are 2 fields on the same row, and each of this color here you can change that for a better, depending on your what you want to accomplish. Okay, so let's take a look here at what are those actions specifically, right? So you saw here that if I click here on the content type demo, we are going to go by this path here, and then we are going to have all the possibilities in BotPress about rich contents being sent to BotPress, to Rocket.Chat. Okay, the second one is about transfer room, right? So this is an action that we have written, right? Let me show here. If you want to see the code directly, those are the actions here, and this is the transfer room. Okay, I'm going to show you here inside the BotPress itself. So what I did here was basically, in BotPress you can add stuff to each of the nodes, and you go connecting the nodes, and that's very interesting because it's a visual way of creating a bot. So whenever you add stuff here, you can say something or you can execute some code, right? And that's the code that we are executing here. So you just search for the code. You can create your own code that's plain JavaScript. You can use Axios in order to consume external stuff. So here we have all the Rocket.Chat already actions that you saw that on the repo. And that's here already because I mounted here. Let me show you so you can understand. I already mounted here not only the bot, but also here, what is that? Okay, I already mounted all the global actions inside Rocket.Chat, inside BotPress. Okay, so whenever we started BotPress, all the actions is there already. But if you have a BotPress, you can copy and paste without a problem. Okay, so let's take a look on some of those actions. You can come here to the code editor, and you're going to have global actions because they are available to all of the bots inside this instance of BotPress. So, for example, in order to transfer a room, let's check this code here. So you have this initial code here that's going to allow you to set some default parameters. So, for example, here's the target department, and here's the visitor token. Okay, so whenever I'm going to transfer, I need to transfer to a room, and also I need to have the token of that visitor. Okay, some connectors of the bot press will have you the ID of the room and 2 points the token. Okay, those are two different stuff. Those are two different informations, and I'm going to show you this information, where we get this information. Okay, so here is basically JavaScript code. Here we are requiring here and importing the axios, and basically I'm getting the bot config. That's the bot from the bot this information that we want the ID, Rocket.Chat auth token, and Rocket.Chat user ID. So basically here I'm consuming this API and passing the room ID as the target, because remember the session in BotPress is the room ID already, and in BotPress it's called the target. Okay, we are passing the token, and we are passing the department. Okay, now we execute the axios, and if it's successful, we have Rocket.Chat transfer room here with the response, and if it's an error, it's going to set this information here. Okay, so whenever it's success, it's going to have transfer success to true, and if it's false, it's going to be false. So this you can use, for example, oh, I want to the user said, I want to talk with the health department, and then you try to transfer, but maybe there is nobody there, right? Rocket.Chat's not going to complete the transfer; it's going to fail on that, and then you can see, okay, the transfer was not possible. I can do another stuff. I can send a message to a next channel saying, hey, there are some people here at midnight or whatever time that tried to contact you, and here are the informations. Here's the link for that chat. Okay, so the same goes here for if you remember, whenever we started with me info and get room info. So that information is where we can get here. So we have get room info. So all those information here is that it will grab, for example, all the JSON for the information of that room. You can also get, for example, the name of the visitor also is there. Okay. One nice place to debug all that is that you can enable here the bottom panel. Let me just close the emulator here. Okay, you can enable the bottom, and then you can have the logs here. Okay, so I'll just clear here the logs. I'll just close here, so you can see you can have a so debug visitor. Okay, with a debug email to entry. Okay, so right now nothing is happening on WordPress, but as soon as I send the message, it's going. Remember, that's going to go all that to that flow. Okay, and then you can see all that happening here, right? Now, so trying local. This is the Rocket.Chat config. It's that part here, right? And it did the config. It's showing all the informations here that it got it. The bot configuration itself. So we have all of them here. Also, there's a Rocket me info, right? So basically, the me info is the information about the bot itself. So this is where we can get the Ratatouille, which is the name of that bot, right? And then after that, we have the me info. We have the get room info. So that's room info. Yeah, get room. This is here. So here you can see this is the information. If you go to probably we can have here the no, this is only the answer. But if you get there the code, you're going to see the exactly API that you're consuming, right? So if you hit a Rocket Chat information about the room, this is the information that you're getting, and this is the token right now that we are using, right? Uh, so now I can reference that if I get here, for example, the get room info, all the information, all those informations here that we get from this session is going to be stored here on the get room info. Where is that? Okay, here, room info. So whenever you want, for example, room info on the key V, and we have the token. I think I can show you that. Okay, so that's the gist of it. That's the inside, the information about that. And let's try to use the bot itself a little bit. One thing that you can do on BotPress is that you can create different flows. So for example, here, as you saw, we already walked on this path here for the content type. Now let's try to close the room. So what's going to happen is that whenever I press the button here to close the room, we are going to go this path exactly here, right? And what's happening is that it's sending to another flow, okay? And this is the flow here. So whenever I press the to close the room, I'm going to have, so consider the situation that, okay, you go to the bot and say, hey, where is the next hospital that I have? And then, or where is the list of the hospitals? And then the bot will give you the list of the hospitals. And then you can ask, okay, is this information enough for you? And then you can say yes or no. If the person say yes, you can close the chat already, right? It doesn't need a human that. So this is the kind here of situation. Okay, so if I click here to close the room, it's going to, okay, before we wrap this up, can I help you if anything else? This is exactly here. So here is expecting some positive or negative answer. And this is using already the natural language processing. So if I come here and I tried that before, say, can I help you with it? No, sir, I am fine. Not sure it's going to understand. Yeah, it's not going to understand, and that's the nice, that's the what I wanted. I'm going to show you how to train your bot, how to increment the bot. This is kind of beyond uh, the idea here, but here is the natural language. Okay, so that was a negative input, and this is the only one that we have. So that was not enough for the processing to understand that that was a negative answer. So let's add it here. Uh, okay, so after I add this here, I can train it. Train is very, very quick. Okay, so I'll close it here. Let's add some stuff here. Let's start the flow again. So I can say hi. And when I close the room, it's going to all that. And now if I go, no, sir, that's good. Hopefully it can understand now. Okay, I'm requiring too much for that. Let's try to go the route again. Okay, close room. No. Yeah, now it's closed. Okay, this was closed by the bot, and it's interesting to note that all those information you can see going running live here, right? So let me see all of that. So all the visitors that we have, we can see that here. We can transfer. Let me see the transfer, and then I think we can call it. Uh, Okay, so here the transfer is a little bit more important. It's more a long way of doing that because, as I told you, maybe you're going to transfer, and maybe there's no user there, right? So when you do that, you need to make sure that the transfer was successful. Okay, so on that kind of situation, whenever you transfer, it's going to say, okay, yeah, it was success as we saw in the code, and then you can say, okay, we can end the flow. And here's an example on how you can act when the transfer was not didn't work. Okay, so if it's success, okay, it's done. And if it's not a success, the transfer process, we can call it the transfer error. And then here we say, okay, it could not transfer. And then you can leave an offline message, or you can alert the room, as we saw with that other option. Okay. And I think that's it. This is the post message. So yeah, that's basically the idea of the bot. It's very easy. You have this here. If you want to follow all that I did here, we have a step-by-step installation instruction here, uh, which is basically what I have done. It's I cloned that and I spin it up the server, and then I went all that the steps in order to configure. Okay. So, and also if you have any doubts about that, you can shout us a question or a call for help here on the event tornado, or on our open, or directly. So I think that's it. Any questions that we can address?
I just checked in the YouTube stream as well as in the event tornado, and there is no open questions here. So maybe people understood everything or got a little bit tired or not. But I'm really glad that we now have the second part of like our tech in-depth Rocket Lab one-on-one on the bots up for all the attendees to watch and to start building for their bot solutions. And be aware that downloading this and executing it is not enough for winning prizes. You need to add some value, put it in a context, and make like a cool solution for the public sector with it. So thank you, Duda. It was a great session. I also learned a lot, not as much as yesterday because I played with the bot press before. But yeah, it was really great, and thanks.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And again, if you're watching this, we're going to spread this YouTube video all around. If you're watching this, you can contact us, and it's going to be a pleasure to be able to help you, not only for the hackathon, but any other bot that you want to put there out into the world to help your company, or to help governments, or to help the humanity in general.
Yep. And if you want to help and contribute on Rocket.Chat, the project, or any of other technologies that we've seen in the hackathon, feel free to join open.rocket.chat, and then either go to how to get started channel or support, and we'll be there always.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody, and see you soon.